Seconds away on Studio 5.
So lead me, Jesus, and I will follow you.
Lyrics earn awards and Grammy Gold for songwriter KJ Scriven.
You haven't put this label on yourself, but there's a label out there on you.
Okay.
Alternative Christian music. What is that?
Hey, if you tell me, then we'll both know. You know?
Plus,
I'm trying to picture you in HR.
Yeah,
So, your comedic skills didn't come out there, I hope.
yeah.
Oh, they did?
I would use them.
the offstage antics of comedienne Allison Moore.
When I was a little kid, I did think I was going to be an entertainer. I kind of thought I was going to be a singer. The problem is, my voice didn't think so.
And then,
Well, I got me a fine wife, I got me old fiddle, when the sun's coming up, I got cakes on the griddle.
the harmonic sound of Homefree, all in Studio 5, starting now. Welcome to Studio 5. We have a great show for you, so let's begin like we do every week, counting down the top 5 stories in uplifting entertainment news. Here's the first 2. At number 5.
The coolest part of the night is that every single one of you are crowned the king or the queen of the prom. But let me tell you why you're the king or the queen. It's because that's how God looks at you every single day of your life.
Tim Tebow's annual Night to Shine prom for children with special needs inspires the newest release from country music's Rascal Flatts.
So today we came in and we put the superstars on our new song that's on our album called Night to Shine. We had some kids from the Kennedy Center come in, some special needs kids, and it was awesome. This is our night, this is our night, this is our night to shine.
At number 4.
Of course, I'm also here to share some things I've learned. Things like, if you're dating a woman that's way out of your league, ask her to marry you.
Football star Russell Wilson and recording artist Ciara made headlines for their decision to save sex for marriage.
The R&B singer and her husband, Russell Wilson, had a little girl. The newlyweds wasted no time starting a family after they got married last July. Ciara announced the exciting news on Instagram with a sweet black and white pic of Russell cradling her tummy.
Mommy also revealed the baby's name, Sienna Princess Wilson, in this Instagram post.
And I know that it hurts, you know that it hurts.
And we are just getting started. The countdown continues throughout the rest of the show. Right now, we turn our attention to a music man who is also the man behind the music. Grammy Award-winning singer and songwriter KJ Scriven. If you don't know the name, trust me, you know his music.
I'm so lost without you. I've got no cause without you.
Keith Scriven Jr., known to most as simply KJ, is a master at crafting the perfect lyric. That songwriting talent earned a Grammy.
I'm so excited. I'm bringing this home.
For Scriven and gospel singer Ty Tribbett.
Tell me, what can I do? 'Cause I can't live without you. I can't live without you.
The song is titled, What Can I Do?
And the way that kind of happened was I put it on a project of mine, and I was actually singing the song. I was opening up for Ty at an event, and he had heard about me through the grapevine. He says, hey, I'm gonna go up in the top and I'm gonna go listen to you. And then I sang the song at the end, and I had a bunch of technical difficulties, and so I was really frustrated, and it was my monitor was really bad, and so I was in the back talking to my manager, and Ty comes like running around the back, like, dude, forget everything you're talking about right now. That song was amazing. Like, I'm still in that song, and I remember being like, what? Oh, yeah, sure, take it. It's yours.
So tell me, what can I do? Hey, 'cause I can't live without you. I can't live without you.
Now, the song I've been listening to today, in advance of sitting down with you, is Superman.
Well, I'm trying the best I can, but I can't quite be Superman. And honestly, I have tried my hand at being indestructible. So I tested my strength in song, that I'm really not that strong at all.
What's the story behind that song?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I remember being in a time in my life where there was a lot of transition. I wasn't sure where I was going next. Just in a valley of transition, didn't know where I was going to move, relocating, and trying to figure a bunch of stuff out. And at the same time, trying to be there for everybody and as well. So it was just a lot going on. And I remember being in my car. I was driving home. It was going to be a couple-hour drive. And I remember just kind of crying and just in a frustrated way, just kind of hitting my steering wheel and say like, dang man, I'm not Mr. Superman or something. I can't, you know, be everything for everybody and just, you know, I can't be Superman. And it was like, And then on that trip, on that road trip, I wrote the entire song like in my car on the way, and that's kind of how, you know, that's kind of how it started. Like we don't have to be strong. God is not asking us to be strong, but He's asking us to just depend on Him, and His strength is made perfect in our weakness.
You haven't put this label on yourself, but there's a label out there on you.
Okay. Alternative
Christian music. What is that?
Hey, if you tell me, then we'll both know. You know, no, I think it's kind of because I'm in this weird, this weird place of I'm not gospel enough for gospel, and not CCM enough for CCM, too Christian for mainstream. You know what I mean? And so I'm just like alternative and somewhere in the middle, and that's fine with me.
There's something you say about what music does in terms of preparing people to receive the word, especially you being a worship leader. What's the job of music in terms of planting that seed? I don't recall verbatim what it is, but it really touched me. What is that message there?
Yeah, so it's that the music softens the ground. It almost like it tills the ground, like it breaks the ground up of people's hearts, so that the seed can be planted. And then once the seed is planted, then fruit can be produced. But if we have like music, if we have a bunch of broken up ground with like no seed being planted, then we're not producing anything.
What can wash away my sins? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. What can make me whole again? Nothing but the blood of Jesus.
KJ's new EP, Chasing the Wind, is available right now, and it is worth sampling again and again. Still ahead on Studio 5.
I said to the funeral director, I said, this is how much a casket costs? Do y'all price match?
The comedienne whose career started in the corporate office.
I'm trying to picture you in HR.
Yeah,
So, your comedic skills didn't come out there, I hope.
Yeah.
Oh, they did?
Oh, I would use them.
Allison Moore serves up a dose of laughter next. Welcome back to Studio 5. This is your weekly countdown of uplifting entertainment headlines. You've seen number 5 and number 4. It's now time for number 3. At number 3.
He is the wimpy kid.
If there's one thing I've learned from my years of being a kid, it's that you have zero control over your own life.
The 4th film in the popular Diary of a Wimpy Kid series hits theaters May 19th with an all-new cast, including Alicia Silverstone and Tom Everett Scott as the parents, Charlie Wright as the big brother, and 12-year-old Jason Drucker now in the leading role of Greg.
Come on, Greg! Greg! Well, you said you wanted to get the boat on the water this summer.
For number 2, we head to the pages of Essence magazine.
I literally spent 30 seconds talking to this girl the first time, and was just able to notice that spark.
Reporting on the day, a tired Don Carter pulls up to a Kansas City Popeyes drive-thru after a long day, meets employee Shawana May, and goes on to raise more than $15,000 to make her dream come true, sending her to nursing school.
So I went home and was eating my chicken, and then this thought just dawned on me. It's like, what if I pay for the nursing?
There's only one more remaining in this week's countdown. We'll bring that to you in just a bit. Right now, it is time to laugh, and this week, we've tapped wife, mother, and comedian Allison Moore.
Like, I didn't know that you're not allowed to say after you do communion. I didn't know. They didn't tell me.
Now, you're a comedian, but you didn't always want to be a comedian. How did this all happen for you?
Right. So I didn't even know that there was a comedian trapped inside of me.
Oh, really?
Nah, I used to get in trouble all the time in school, but you know, just thinking that they were hating on my skills. That's all. Yeah, so I was doing this nonprofit event, and I hosted the event because I've always been very comfortable talking in front of people. I didn't know it was a thing, right? And so the comedian there, he's like, I don't know why you all got me. Allison's a comedian.
Wow.
So I'm like, can I get paid? When we grew up, we didn't watch comedy in our house. So, you know, like some of the comedians were just way too much for mom. So she's like, no.
I can imagine. What was Allison's dream for Allison? What did you think you were going to do?
Well, when I was a little kid, I did think I was going to be an entertainer. But I kind of thought I was going to be a singer. The problem is my voice didn't think so.
Oh, okay.
I didn't catch up with the dream. You know, and then I'm like, well, maybe I'm gonna just do movies. But then I got married, I had children, so then my dream became, let's put these little kiddies through college. And I started working in human resources, and it was just in my own little world.
Okay. I'm trying to picture you in HR.
Yeah,
Now, I understand you had a conversation with God asking for millions.
Yes.
And something happened. Tell me that.
Yes.
What happened?
So that's the event that I was actually doing the hosting for. So a girlfriend of mine, he used to say, well, when we become millionaires, we're gonna have a homeless shelter. Girl, we're going to take care of the orphans. And the Lord said so clear one day, well, why don't you show me what you're gonna do with the hundreds of dollars before I give you the millions? Why don't you serve and help somebody else? So we're like, okay, we'll bet. And that's where we did this little nonprofit fundraiser event. We raised money, we're like, we're gonna give 100% of the money away. And that's where we had that gala. We hired the comedian, and he was like, well, oh, she was the. So I really think that because I said, okay, you know what, Lord, we're gonna do what you said, dude, that he just kind of allowed that moment to be the moment. This is what happens when you serve me. Where do you find your material? What do you do? It's completely observational. Like, it is just absolutely what happens, and it cycles through my brain. My mother passed away. So I have a really popular bit about just going through the whole funeral, the expenses of the funeral. Oh my God, that's...
You find humor?
Well, then I did not.
Okay.
People, get your life insurance together, please. Or it'll be your child telling these jokes. You know, really what happened was my mother, she passed away in December 2015. And she had life insurance, but she had not had it for greater than 2 years, so the policy had not matured. I was my mother's oldest child, and she was not married. She was the only child, so I'm the family. All the responsibility was on me. The problem with that is I don't even know how to spell responsibility. We call the funeral home or the life insurance place, policy place, whatever, at like 9. And they're like, you have $746 coming to you. Girl, you playing. But I said, you know what, this is my mama. And I'm gonna make sure mama go out in style. Till I found out how much style cost. All of a sudden, my priorities started to change. Style ain't really as important as I thought it was when I was younger. Cause I'm looking like, oh my gosh. I said to the funeral director, I said, this is how much a casket costs? Do y'all price match? And I just like start freaking out. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. we can't afford all of this. And then that, I mean, I was still grieving. There was a lot going on. And so I'm like, we can't do that. You gotta take this, huh? Okay. It was really bad because I had been really strong up until that point. And then that was just it was just done. So I asked him, like, can I get the box that came in? Because it's the same shape. We can put it together at the house. He was all upset. Apparently it's offensive to ask a funeral director, can you BYOC? Bring your own casket. Later, and the Lord came through. I mean, different people were just sewing into us, and it was just amazing. So then when we were at our house, and some friends were over, and my husband was like, no, what happened was after the funeral. So they're like, Allison, everything went really well. You know, the funeral was beautiful, baby. You know, I don't even know if I've ever seen a bad funeral. So my husband's like, yeah, but you should have seen her. She almost cut all that stuff out. So I'm like, we're gonna take off some of this other stuff because all this stuff is not as important. Like that pillow, take it out. You're not gonna send my mama to the make with a crook on her neck, no. Take that out, Take out that pillow, I'm looking at that list. Take out that sheet. She don't know she cold. He was like, you should see, your girl won't even gonna have flowers there. And I'm like, tell me more. What else did I do? What was my face looking like when I did that? And so then, yeah, that was my joke.
It's funny now.
It is,
not
yeah.
funny then.
People are like, oh my God, girl, I ain't laughed about my daddy passing away since. And I'm like, well, amen. And it gives me opportunity to really minister because then I'm like, well, the God of comfort is really available for you.
And Allison has some big connections in the comedy game, recently headlining with comedian Sinbad. And still to come.
I got friends in no places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases.
The heart and harmony of Homefree pays Studio 5 a visit.
It was simultaneously the hardest work, you know, we've ever done and the most rewarding.
Welcome back to Studio 5. It's time now to wrap this week's countdown of the best in uplifting entertainment news. Here is the final one. At number 1 this week, Katherine Johnson.
I am 98. My greatest accomplishment, just staying alive.
The NASA mathematician whose life changed space travel and inspired the hit film Hidden Figures is delivering the 2017 commencement address at Hampton University Sunday, May 14th.
They're not amazing. They was ordinary things at the time. And I'd do them over. If I had to do over, I would.
And that's a wrap for this week's countdown, but we've got lots more in the show. Right now, we turn to Homefree. The acapella group won the 4th season of NBC's The Sing-Off, and the rest, as they say, is history. Homefree is what's playing in my ear.
We're a professional country a cappella group. So in our first performance, we played to our strengths. We just wanted to sit around, sing.
Baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise.
In this next performance, Homefree's gonna kick it up a notch. We're gonna stand up in our boots and really give it to you.
So let's start with the name, Homefree. Where'd it come from?
When the group first started 16 years ago, one of the group's members' grandfathers sort of gave us some startup money to buy equipment and such. So as a tribute to him, we named the group after his boat. The boat's name was Homefree.
Yep. I'm all about the bass, no treble.
Tim, I'm told that you can sing 5 octaves.
That's right, yeah.
Oh Lord, my God, when I in awesome wonder.
Now, Austin, you grew up singing Southern gospel.
I did. My father was he had a couple quartets whenever I was a kid, and I would travel around with him. I had this one song I'd come out and sing. You know, he'd play the piano, they'd all sing, and it was a good time, and it sort of translated eventually into what I'm doing now, I reckon.
Christ shall come with shout of acclamation and take me home. What joy shall fill my heart.
So what was season 4 of The Sing-Off like?
It was pretty grueling, really.
Help myself, so I walked up and said, baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise down a back road, going stop signs through the middle, every little part town with you.
We were putting in 16-hour days rehearsing 7 days a week for 2 months straight.
Ooh, it was tiring, but it was simultaneously the hardest work we've ever done, and the most rewarding. So it was a really cool experience that I wouldn't trade for the world, but I don't think any of us would go back again. We did it and we're proud of it.
Nice. How would you guys say YouTube has changed your career?
It's the lifeblood.
It's
really.
the biggest influence on music as a culture. 15 years ago, we couldn't have done what we do without having some kind of radio success.
Written in these walls are the stories that I can't explain. I leave my heart open, but it stays right here empty for days. She told me in the morning she don't feel the same about us in her bones. Seems to me that when I die, these words will be written on my stone.
Just keep making videos online, keep growing our fan base and engaging with them online. We're kind of writing our own story at this point.
What's next for Homefree?
That is a good question. I mean, we're back in the studio. We'll be releasing a new album. We, on average, release 2 music videos per month. Who knows? Sky's the limit.
Some good news. Homefree is on tour right now, and their voices will literally shake the performance hall. You should be sure to check them out.
Still ahead on Studio 5.
So I'm standing guard, 'cause life's coming hard.
The elevating message behind this Jonathan McReynolds tune.
God has built us to fly and stay up there. We're not people that just fly for a second and come down on the ground.
Welcome back. We are almost out of time for this edition of Studio 5, so let's look ahead to what we have in store for next week.
This is a massive celebration of the power of the local church.
What I love about this tour is it really celebrates the local church. The amazing thing that I love about the local church is, like we were just talking about this, it really keeps you grounded.
Studio 5 is your all-access pass to the Outcry Tour. Hear the music and the message behind this growing movement.
That's just one story from next week's rundown. As for this show, I'm giving the final word to singer and songwriter Jonathan McReynolds.
Can't catch a bird while it's flying in the air. No, you gotta wait till it comes to the ground. And you can't trap a saint while they're in mid-flight. No, the devil's gotta wait till we come down. So I'll stay high, coming down for no reason. I'll be reading my word. I ain't coming down for no Satan. I'll be praying to my Lord.
Sometimes we have to escape temptation or escape the storms of life by simply flying over them, staying high. I think that what the Bible says, mount up on wings like an eagle. And so that's even one of the ad-libs. Just stay high. Because I think at some point we go to church and we get kind of like a drug. It's like, oh, okay, that was great word. That was great music. And I jumped around and I ran around. And by the time we get to Tuesday, the high has worn off. And I think we really need God to help us maintain, for lack of better words, and in context, high. Because, it's certainly way more to Christianity than the Sunday service.
I ain't coming down for nobody, no, I'll just stay high, 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 high. So watch me fly, 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 fly.
that is great wisdom from such a young man. And the final word for this edition of Studio 5. Until next time, reach out and touch me at F from Graham on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. And then you be sure to come on back and see where Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.